Hello and welcome to one of my first ever track breakdowns. These are songs that I'm working on at the moment for the very first of my Lookout mini albums, and I just thought I'd give you a brief introduction to how the sort of things stack up from a production point of view and play with a little bit of the music, but I'm not going to give too much of it away, but give you a little bit of an insight. So I'm going to turn around and go, to the actual production suite here, which is my Pro Tools, and give you a rough idea what it's all about. So as you can see on this screen here, what this is really, you can see very much of it really, but it's a representative of the track. So if I can just bring this into some sort of focus for you, you will see all of these green coloured blobs, or these coloured blobs rather, represent each of the tracks on the record. So for instance, if I just focus out a little bit, bring it out a little bit more, these blue tracks here are the drum tracks. So essentially, for all those who don't really know about recording, we record everything completely separately, so you won't be able to read it from there, unfortunately. But this is, the top track here is the kick drum. So we've got two kick drum tracks, then we have a snare drum track here, another snare drum, that's the top of the snare drum, that's the bottom of the snare drum, that's one of the tom-toms, another tom-tom, another tom-tom, then the overheads here, which are microphones that capture the cymbal sounds. We've got a hi-hat mic, a ride mic, we've also got a mono room microphone, which is just a single microphone stuck in the room, which kind of is, we sort of use it to do what we call a crash mic, so you can sort of, you capture everything on one mic and you can put a big compressor on it and squash it and make it sound nice and cool. We've also got a sort of, this microphone here is a stereo microphone, which is set up so you record both sides of it and in the middle as well. So it's a sort of like an ambient microphone. And there's also another mono ambient mic down there. So we've got, and I'm just what I wanted to do is just sort of give you an idea what the sounds are like. This is not mixed, this is the actual sounds that we have coming live from the studio floor. So I'm just going to go and press this button over here, which essentially brings all of the drum sounds into just into solo. So I'm going to press play now, and you're going to get an idea of what the drum sound sounds like. Here you go. You hear the count. So of course this is Matt Eldridge, who played on the album, real good mate of mine who's played on a lot of my solo records. We're working at the studio called Vale, a very nice lovely ambient room that sits outside of the live room actually, so we capture the ambience from the live room next door to it. But a lovely sounding wood room, great microphones. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some other instruments in so you can hear what's going on. Going to put the bass track in against it, so this is Chris Blandon, the bass player. Here we go, hold on. Here we go, and as you can hear from there, I'm just at the moment, I'm sort of distorting the bass a little bit, so I can kind of get a bit of grunt out of it. So we can do all kinds of things with this, with the sounds of the bass, obviously, and of the drums and everything when we get to the mix stage. So this is raw audio. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in some of the guitars. So what we did really on this track is that I tracked basically some live guitars with the bass and drums when we were putting the tracks together in the studio, and then I replaced my guitars because the sounds weren't really up to scratch. It was just what we call a guide track. So I'm just going to play a little bit of the opening gambit there with my guitar track, and also midway through I'm going to put in Jason's guitars. Now Sam Wood has played on these recordings as well. But recently I've had a chap called Jason Barwick, who plays for a band called The Brew, who's a good mate of mine. He's come and played some extra guitar as well. So there's plenty to mess around with. I'm just going to group all of his tracks here at the moment. So let's put this into a group. This is what we do. So we also call it Jace group. go. So that way he's gone blue again there, look, so as you can tell. So I'll just play this from the top again, and we'll just see, you're going to hear bass, drums and guitar. I'm going to add in the guitars as we go along. Here we go. Click. Here's my guitar. Here's Jason's guitar. Okay, so that's the kind of essentially the basic components of this particular track. It's called Throw It Away, this song. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you all of that again. There's also bits of keyboards, I think, at this. I don't know if I've got bits of keyboards at this stage. Oh, we've got some Hammond organ here that's been played by Mr. Dave Kemp, of course. And this is my master vocal track underneath it here. There's a backing vocal track I've recorded independently there, and also I've got lots of backing vocals on this song. So I'm going to play up to the first part of the chorus, let you hear a bit of the words, and then I'm going to stop it because I don't want to play the whole thing. Okay, so and I'll add things as we go. So we'll start with the drums, I'll bring the bass in, the guitars, and I'll bring in the vocal, and then we'll hit the chorus. Okay, let me just get this ready. Here we go. So and this is the process that we use on every single one of the tracks. These tracks currently, or this particular track is now with the guy who's mixing it, Chris Diada, who's going to be mixing this stuff for me. So he's currently setting these tracks up as mixed tracks as well. But anyway, just to give you a bit of a flavour, here we go again. Okay, so bring the bass in. My guitar. Jason's guitar. My vocal. My vocal. I'm nothing to lose, 'cause I won't be the one who takes everything I've done, throwing it away. There you go. That's all you're going to get. But as you can see, it's this particular track's a pretty full-blooded rock and roll song. And also, what's interesting about this track is it kind of came from the back of the pack. It was a song that I was thinking, well, it's okay. Don't know whether it's going to be one of the A-listers, but now it's starting to come together, and I've worked a lot on it, and backing vocals and all the rest of it. And I think the performances have really brought it on. So, yeah. So that's that track. So that's the first track I'm going to play you. Stick around for another one of these pretty soon. Thanks a lot.